How to speak fluent English without living abroad. Segment 1. Fluent from home. Why you don't need to live abroad to speak English well. Intro. The big myth that holds learners back. Let's begin with one of the most common and destructive myths in English learning. It goes like this. You can't become fluent unless you live in an English-speaking country. You may have heard this from teachers. You may have believed it yourself. You may even use it as an excuse when fluency feels far away. But the truth is simple and powerful. Fluency is not a location, it's a system. You don't need to move abroad. You don't need to live in London, New York, or Toronto. You need the right mindset, the right habits, and the right methods. And that's exactly what we'll build together in this 7-part journey. By the end of this segment, you'll stop waiting for the perfect place and you'll start becoming the fluent speaker you've always wanted to be, right where you are. Part 1. What fluency really means. It's not what you think. Before we talk about how to become fluent without moving abroad, we need to define what fluency actually is. Many learners think fluency means speaking fast, knowing big vocabulary, having perfect grammar, sounding exactly like a native speaker, but real fluency is none of those things. Fluency means the ability to express your thoughts clearly, smoothly, and naturally without long pauses or confusion. It's not about speed. It's about flow. It's not about perfection. It's about connection. It's not about sounding like someone else. It's about being yourself in English. And here's the best part. You don't need to travel across the world to build this kind of fluency. You can build it in your kitchen, on your way to work, in your bedroom, your car, your park, your neighborhood. If you have your voice, your mind, and a method, you have everything you need. Part 2. Why living abroad isn't magic now. Let's talk about the idea that living abroad automatically makes you fluent. Is it helpful? Yes, it can be, but is it necessary? No. In fact, here's a secret. Many people live abroad for years, no PhD, and never become fluent. Why? Because they live in English-speaking countries, but they still work in their native language, socialize with people from their own country, avoid speaking up in English conversations, fear judgment when they make mistakes. The truth is, location doesn't change habits. Habits change fluency. You could live in California and stay silent, or you could live in Cairo, Dhaka, Istanbul, or Manila and speak English every single day. It's about what you do, not where you live. Part 3. The key principles that lead to fluency. Anywhere, let's now shift to what does work. If fluency isn't based on location, what is it based on? Here are the 3 pillars that will guide this entire series. 1. Consistency over environment. You don't need an English environment. You need a consistent system. This means showing up daily to listen, speak, reflect, repeat. Fluency is not about immersion, it's about intentional exposure. 2. Output over input. Many learners focus on input, watching shows, reading articles, listening to podcasts. That's important, but it's not enough. Fluency comes from output, using your voice, forming sentences, expressing ideas. If you want to get fluent without going abroad, speaking must become part of your day, not just listening. 3. Self-identity over perfection. You must stop thinking of yourself as a learner and start thinking of yourself as a user of English. That shift changes everything because users practice, users speak, users make mistakes, introduction, and move forward. The goal isn't to sound native. The goal is to sound like you clearly and confidently. in English, Part 4. Mindset Reset. You are not at a disadvantage. Let's deal with another mindset block. Many learners feel they're at a disadvantage because they can't live abroad. They say, I don't have access to native speakers. I can't afford to move. My environment isn't helping me. But here's the truth. You are not behind. You are not blocked. You are not stuck. You have something powerful that fluent speakers in other countries often forget. You are hungry to grow. That hunger is your advantage. And with the right tools, it will take you further than location ever could. Part 5. Let's look at real examples. Let me introduce you to 3 real learners who became fluent from home. Akira, Japan. Akira never left his city, but he created a strict English routine. 30 minutes of listening, 15 minutes of shadowing, 15 minutes of voice journaling, speaking to himself while walking to work. After 6 months, he gave a short speech, fully in English, at his company. He didn't move countries, he moved forward. Fatima, Morocco. Fatima couldn't find a tutor, so she created her own system. She recorded herself answering 1 question a day. Then she listened, corrected, and re-recorded. Over 100 days, her fluency exploded, not because of location, because of daily practice. Ishan, India. Ishan started a private Telegram group with 4 friends. They agreed to send 1 short English voice message every day. He said it felt scary at first, but after 60 days, speaking felt normal. That's fluency. When English becomes part of your daily voice, no matter where you live. Part 6. Action plan for this week. Start where you are. Let's end today with action. Here's your Fluent from Home starter plan. Day 1. Record a 1-minute voice message describing your day in English. Day 2. Shadow. 5 minutes of an English podcast or videos is repeated out loud with feeling. Day 3. Talk to yourself while doing a task. Narrate your actions. Now I'm making tea. I feel tired today. I need to write an email after this. Day 4. Write and speak 3 sentences about a memory. Day 5. Ask a question in English to someone, even online, or leave a voice message if possible. Day 6. Listen to yourself again. Notice 1 improvement and 1 area to grow. Day 7. Reflect. What worked? What felt hard? What surprised you? This is how you build real fluency. Frontline. From home, step by step. Closing. Thought fluency is not found in a country. It's found in your habits, in your mindset, in your decision to speak. Today, not someday. You don't need a plane ticket. You don't need a visa. You don't need permission. You need your voice and your willingness to use it. Start where you are. Speak where you live. Grow with what you have. This is the beginning of a new kind of fluency, one you own. Let's continue. Segment 2. Build your English environment anywhere. Create immersion without moving. Intro. You don't need to move. You need to build. Most people think fluency requires a perfect English-speaking environment. They imagine cafes in London, subway conversations in New York, or daily chats in Sydney. But that's just a dream for most learners. So here's the truth. You don't find an English environment. You create it. In this segment, you'll learn how to build a powerful English atmosphere around you. Train your brain to think in English daily. Bring English into your lifestyle, not just your study time. Because fluency isn't about escaping your environment, it's about rebuilding it to support your goals. Wherever you live. Part 1. Understand the brain. Why immersion? Works, let's break it down. Why do people say immersion helps fluency? Because the brain learns best when it's constantly exposed to a language, in multiple ways, across multiple senses. Listening, speaking, reading, thinking, feeling emotions through language. When your brain sees and hears English all day, it starts adapting. It begins to treat English as a survival tool, not just a school subject. But here's the key: immersion isn't about your country, it's about your input and output. If you surround yourself with English every day, your brain gets the same signals as someone abroad. And with focused practice, you can grow even faster because you're in control of your own system. Part 2: the three types of immersion you can build at home. Let's break down the three kinds of immersion you can control, starting today. 1. Passive immersion, background English. All day, this is your environment soundtrack. You don't need to sit down and study. Just keep English around you. Examples: play English podcasts while cooking or cleaning. Leave English YouTube videos running in the background. Change your phone and app language to English. Use English subtitles while watching your favorite shows. The goal here is constant exposure. Your brain absorbs rhythms, sounds, expressions, even when you're not paying full attention. It's like watering a plant. You may not see it grow every day, but something is happening. 2. Active immersion. Speak, respond, think. Passive input is powerful, but it's not enough. You also need output, your own voice, your own thoughts. This is where real fluency is built. Examples: narrate your actions in English during the day. Respond out loud to the podcast host or TV character. Repeat phrases with emotion. Shadowing style. Ask yourself questions in English and answer them aloud. The more your mouth produces English, the more natural it becomes. This is muscle memory for your brain and your tongue. 3. Emotional immersion. Connect. Meaning to the language. This is the most powerful kind of immersion and the most overlooked. Fluency grows fastest when English connects to your emotions. Ask yourself, what makes me laugh in English? What motivates me? What inspires me? What moves me emotionally? Find content in English that moves your heart, not just trains your mind. Examples: watch English TED Talks about your passions. Listen to personal development podcasts or YouTube creators. Read a powerful story or novel that you feel. Join English forums or groups where people discuss things that matter to you. When English becomes a language of emotion, not just information, your fluency becomes permanent. Part 3. Design your personal English environment room by room. Let's get practical. How do you build an English-speaking world inside your real life? Here's how. Bedroom. Keep a book or Kindle with an English story. Write your goals or affirmations in English on the wall. Record a voice journal every night before bed. Kitchen. Label your food and kitchen items in English. Speak out loud as you cook. Now I'm chopping vegetables. Next, I'll boil water. Listen to an English cooking channel or recipe while preparing food. Bathroom. Write useful phrases or questions on the mirror. Practice English tongue twisters while brushing your teeth. Listen to short podcasts while getting ready. Workspace or study area. Use an English planner or task manager. Write your to-do list in English. Speak your priorities out loud each morning. Even if your family or friends don't speak English, your environment can. You're the architect of your fluency space. Part 4. Set up your daily immersion routine. Let's now build your daily language loop, a structure that makes English part of your life. Here's a sample routine. Morning, 10 minutes. Speak 2-3 sentences about your goals or how you feel. Listen to a motivational English podcast while getting ready. Midday, 15-30 minutes. Watch a short English video during lunch. Shadow one sentence from it. Read and repeat 5 new words a evening, 15 minutes. Record a voice message reflecting on your day. Listen to it. Try to correct one mistake and re record. You can adjust the times. But the key is repetition. Day after day, your English brain becomes your default brain. Part 5. A real story. Sasha from Ukraine. Sasha lived in a small town. No one around her spoke English. She wanted to work for an international NGO, but she couldn't afford to move or take classes. So she built her own immersion system. English sticky notes all over her house, YouTube lessons while doing chores, voice notes to herself every morning, reading English blogs about global health. After 6 months, she interviewed for an international remote position and got the job. Not because of her location, because of her system. Part 6. What to do when people around you don't support you. Maybe your family, co-workers, or friends don't understand your English goals. They may say, "Why are you always talking to yourself? Who are you trying to impress? You don't even need English here." Here's how you handle it. You smile and you say, "I'm training my brain for something bigger. I'm practicing not just a language, but a life skill." You don't need their permission. You need your own vision and the discipline to follow it. Closing thought. You don't need to live abroad to live inside English. Your mind, your routine, your space, these are your tools. Use them. Surround yourself with English. Speak it, hear it, think in it, feel it. Make your home your immersion zone, because fluency doesn't come from a plane ticket, it comes from a system. And you're building it now. Let's keep going. Segment 3. Daily speaking habits. How to train your voice without a partner. Intro. Speak every day, even if you're alone. By now, you've learned that fluency doesn't come from where you live. It comes from what you do consistently. And one of the biggest challenges for learners who don't live in English-speaking countries is this: I have no one to talk to. How can I practice speaking? The truth? You don't need a partner to train your voice. You need a method, a daily habit, a repeatable system. In this segment, you'll learn how to practice spoken English on your own. Every day, use voice training techniques that build fluency. Break through the fear of speaking aloud. Create consistent routines that sharpen your speech muscles. Let's turn your environment into your practice ground and your own voice into your most powerful teacher. Part 1. Why speaking alone works. Speaking is a muscle. If you don't use it, it weakens. If you use it daily, even by yourself, it gets stronger. Let's address a common myth. Practicing alone doesn't count. It absolutely does. In fact, many fluent English speakers built their confidence before ever joining conversations. They use self-practice to learn rhythm, fix pronunciation, train their thinking in English, build confidence in expressing themselves. Speaking alone helps you make mistakes safely without judgment. It helps you focus on your delivery, not on how others respond. It helps you develop a natural, personal voice in English. You are your first conversation partner. Use that. Part 2. The 5-step daily voice routine. Here's a simple, powerful method you can use every day. Whether you have 10 minutes or 30, it's called the speak loop. S. Start with warm-up sentences. Pick 3 to 5 simple sentences and say them clearly. Examples. Today is going to be productive. I'm working on my fluency. Speaking English gets easier every day. Say them slowly, then faster, then with emotion. Warm up your brain. Warm up your mouth. B. Practice with prompts. Use a daily question prompt to train spontaneous speech. Examples. What did I do yesterday? What are my goals for this week? Describe a movie I recently watched. Talk about something I'm grateful for. Set a timer for Tutor 5 minutes. Speak freely. Don't stop to correct. Just go. This builds fluency under time pressure, just like real life. E. Echo and shadow. Native speech, choose a video or podcast. Play 10 to 15 seconds, pause, repeat exactly what you hear, match the speaker's rhythm, emotion, pronunciation, and tone. This is called shadowing, and it's one of the fastest ways to sound natural. Do it daily, and your brain will start absorbing English structure like music. A. Analyze one recording of yourself. Record your voice while speaking, then listen back. Ask, am I pausing too much? Are my ideas clear? How is my tone or pronunciation? Can I make it more natural? Pick one thing to improve. Then repeat the exercise. This step builds awareness, which is the key to progress. K. Keep a speaking journal. At the end of your practice, speak one reflection sentence aloud. I felt confident today. That topic was hard, but I didn't stop. I want to improve my storytelling. Capture your feeling, own your growth. If you do this loop 5-6 times a week, you'll see massive improvement. Even without a speaking partner. Part 3. Daily speaking. Topics you can use. Many learners say, I want to speak when, but I don't know what to talk about. Here are 10 simple, repeatable topics for solo practice. What happened today? Describe your routine. Talk about a past experience. Explain a dream or future goal. Describe your favorite place. React to a piece of news. Teach something you know in English. Tell a story from your childhood. Speak about someone who inspires you. Imagine you're giving advice to someone starting to learn English. Speak freely for 2 to 3 minutes on each. Don't script. Don't memorize. Just talk. Over time, your thinking and speaking will become naturally connected. Part 4. Eliminate the fear of sounding silly. Let's talk about what really stops most learners from speaking aloud, even alone. They're afraid of sounding silly, making mistakes, judging their own voice, feeling like a beginner. Here's how you deal with it. Speak anyway, laugh at yourself, celebrate effort, not perfection. Remind yourself every speaker was once awkward. You're not performing, you're practicing. You're not being graded, you're growing. Every athlete trains without an audience. So do fluent speakers. Part 5. Bonus tools that help you practice alone. Here are 3 tools that can support your solo speaking habit. 1. Voice memo app. Record your speaking practice daily. Create folders by topic or week. Review past recordings to track progress. 2. Chat with AI tools. Use AI language chatbots to simulate conversations. Speak your responses aloud before typing them. This gives you a target, a structure, and quick feedback. 3. Use the mirror talk method. Stand in front of a mirror and speak as if you're being interviewed. Ask and answer questions like, tell me about yourself. Why do you want to learn English? What's your biggest strength? The mirror builds presence, posture, and psychological comfort. Part 6. Real Story. Emmanuel from Kenya. Emmanuel wanted to improve his spoken English, but no one around him spoke it regularly. Instead of waiting, he created a 20-minute daily voice routine. Every day, before work, he stood on his balcony and talked to himself out loud. Reflections on life, reactions to podcasts, imaginary job interviews, advice to his future self. He said, at first I felt stupid, Then I felt free. Now I feel fluent. Speaking builds fluency. Speaking alone builds discipline. Emmanuel didn't move to the US, he moved into fluency with his voice. Part 7. Your speaking challenge for the week. Here's a 7-day challenge to help you start. Day 1. Record a 1-minute message describing your morning. Day 2. Shadow a 1-minute clip from your favorite English creator. Day 3. Answer the question, what's something you're proud of? Day 4. Practice a 3-minute mirror talk. Introduce yourself. Day 5. Speak about a memory that changed you. Day 6. Watch a news clip, then summarize it aloud. Day 7. Reflect out loud. What has changed in your voice this week? Track your feelings. Notice your voice. Stay consistent. Closing message. You don't need perfect conditions to become a speaker. You need practice. Focused, daily, intentional. Let your voice meet your thoughts out loud. Let your fears shrink as your sentences grow. Let speaking become as natural as breathing. You don't need a partner. You need a promise to yourself that you will show up. Speak daily. Speak honestly. Speak even when no one's listening, because that's how fluency is born. Segment 4. Think in English, the mental shift that changes everything. Intro. The true switch from learning English to using English. If the first 3 segments taught you anything, it's this. Fluency is built from your habits, not your location. But today we go deeper. Because even if you speak every day, even if you shadow native speakers, even if you build an English environment at home, you will still feel something holding you back. A pause, a delay, a translation in your head, unless you make one core transformation. You must start thinking in English. This is the moment where fluency becomes natural. This is where sentences stop feeling constructed and start feeling born. This is where English becomes not a subject, but a part of your mind. In this segment, you will learn how to break the habit of translating, how to train your brain to think in English automatically, how to build inner fluency, not just spoken fluency, how to turn English into a second thought system, not a memorized skill. This is the biggest breakthrough in your fluency journey. The internal shift. Let's begin. Part 1. Why thinking in English matters more than anything else. Many learners assume fluency is about speaking fast, using advanced vocabulary, or sounding native. But real fluency happens before you speak. It happens in your mind. Think of 2 learners. One thinks in their native language, then translates. The other thinks directly in English naturally. Even if their vocabulary is the same, the second learner sounds smoother, clearer, more confident, because their brain is not switching back and forth. Translation creates delays, confusion, broken sentences, fear of grammar, fear of mistakes. Thinking directly in English removes all of that. When you think in English, sentences feel automatic, ideas come faster. Your mouth follows your mind. You don't worry about grammar, it forms naturally. Your fluency speeds up without effort. This is why people who live abroad sometimes become fluent faster, because their brain is forced to think in English. But you don't need to live abroad to train this skill. You can grow it anywhere. You can start today. And once this shift happens, your entire fluency changes forever. Part 2. Why most learners translate and why it slows them down. Let's understand the psychology behind translation. You translate because you learned English as a school subject, not a tool. Your brain hasn't created English pathways yet. You fear mistakes, so you think before speaking. You want perfect grammar, so you calculate each sentence. This is normal. This is how the brain behaves when learning any new system. But at a certain stage, the stage you're ready for now, translation becomes the biggest barrier. It stops fluency, it blocks confidence, it forces your brain to run two languages at once. And your brain can't run smoothly with two operating systems battling each other. So, what's the solution? You must gradually shift your mind language from your native language to English. Not forcefully, not instantly, not perfectly, but consistently, naturally, gently, every single day. Part 3. The levels of thinking in English. Most learners think it's all or nothing. Either you think fully in English, Moishi, or not at all. That's not true. Thinking in English grows in levels. Let's understand them. Level 1. Word level thinking. This is where you start naming things in English around you. Table, mirror, door, coffee, shoes, sky, notebook. This is the foundation. Level 2. Phrase level thinking. Your brain starts forming short English phrases for daily actions. Open the window, I'm tired, let me check my phone. I need water, time to leave. These small phrases build mental speed. Level 3. Sentence level thinking. Here your thoughts become more complete. I should finish this work. I forgot to reply to that message. I need to improve my accent. That was a long day. Now English becomes part of your internal voice. Level 4. Conversation. Level thinking. You mentally rehearse conversations in English. What would I say if someone asked me about my job? How would I explain my favorite movie? What if I gave advice to someone? Your brain begins creating English dialogue without speaking. Level 5. Emotion level thinking. This is the most powerful level. You start expressing feelings in English. I feel stressed. I'm proud of what I achieved today. This makes me happy. I'm frustrated, but I'll keep going. When English becomes a language of emotion, not translation, fluency becomes part of your identity. And that's the goal. That's where you're heading. Part 4. The micro thought method. Step by step thinking training. You don't need long study sessions to train your mind. You need small, frequent English thoughts. Micro thoughts. Here's how to practice it daily. Step 1. Think 3. English words in the morning. As soon as you wake up, think simple. Morning cold. Sleepy sunlight tea. Anything around you. This activates your English brain immediately. Step 2. Narrate one action in English. Choose one small action. I'm opening the window. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm checking the time. This is mental narration. Step 3. Ask yourself one question in English. What's my plan today? What do I want to finish? This trains your internal dialogue. Step 4. Describe one object. You see, this cup is heavy. The sky is bright today. This room feels quiet. You force your brain to produce English from observations. Step 5. Attach one emotion to your day. I feel motivated. I feel anxious about work. I feel excited to improve. When English carries feelings, it becomes natural. These micro thoughts take less than 3 minutes, but they rewire your fluency. Practice them daily and your brain will shift automatically. Part 5. Break the habit of translating without forcing it. You cannot stop translating by trying to block your native language. The brain doesn't respond well to force. Instead, it responds to replacement. Here are the methods fluent bilinguals use. 1. Use simple English words, not complex ones. Think easy English, not advanced English. Instead of thinking, today I intend to accomplish numerous tasks. Think, I want to finish many tasks today. Simple is fluent. Simple is natural. Simple builds flow. 2. Reduce grammar. Thinking, don't think. Which tense should I use? What's the correct structure? Think, what am I trying to say right now? Meaning first, structure, second, three, use English to solve problems. When you're confused, ask yourself, what is missing? What do I want right now? How can I fix this? Your brain starts using English as a tool, not a classroom exercise. 4. Think in English. When you're emotional, that's the fastest mental rewiring. Moments like excitement, stress, frustration, joy. Try expressing the feeling instantly. I'm overwhelmed. I'm proud of myself. I don't like this situation. Emotional English becomes permanent English. Arch 6, real story. Carla from Brazil. Carla always translated. Every sentence came late. Every thought felt heavy. Every conversation made her nervous. She didn't understand why. A teacher told her, "You're speaking English from your mouth, but not from your mind." So she began practicing the micro thought method. She started small, naming objects. Simple descriptions. Short emotional reflections. One English question per day. Within 3 months, something happened. She woke up one morning, looked at the sky outside her window, and her first thought was, "It looks peaceful today." No translation, just English. She said it felt like someone had quietly switched on a different part of her brain. That moment changed her fluency forever. Thinking in English became natural, and speaking followed. Your moment will come too. Part 7. Your weekly Think in English challenge. Here's your 7-day mental fluency training plan. Day 1. Name 20 objects around your room, mentally, not out loud. Day 2. Narrate 5 daily actions in English. Day 3. Think 3 emotional sentences throughout the day. Day 4. Ask yourself 3 English questions and respond mentally. Day 5. Describe 2 memories in your mind in English. Day 6. Imagine 1 English conversation scenario and mentally rehearse it. Day 7. Reflect mentally. How did my English thinking change this week? This challenge doesn't require speaking. It doesn't require studying. It doesn't require extra time. It only requires your mind and your willingness to think differently. Closing message. Thinking in English is not a talent. It's not a gift. It's not something only people abroad achieve. It's a mental shift, a daily practice, a gentle rewiring, a decision to bring English into your thoughts, not just your mouth. When English becomes your inner language, even for simple thoughts, fluency becomes your natural state. You don't need to live abroad. You don't need a partner. You don't need perfect grammar. You need small English thoughts, repeated daily. Those thoughts will become phrases. Those phrases will become sentences. Those sentences will become conversations. And one day you will realize you don't think in your native language anymore. You think in English. You speak in English. And you live fluently without ever leaving home. Let's move forward. Segment 5. Build natural fluency, vocabulary, grammar, and expression without memorizing. Intro. The path to natural English. Without memorizing anything. By now, you've learned to build an English environment, speak daily, even without a partner, and begin thinking in English. But there is another challenge every learner faces. How do I learn vocabulary? How do I improve grammar naturally? How do I express myself better? How do I speak without stopping to search for words? Most learners believe they need word lists, grammar worksheets, long textbooks, endless memorization, complex explanations. But natural fluency does not grow from memorization. It grows from usage. It grows from patterns. It grows from experience. It grows from connection. In this segment, you will learn a new way, the natural way, to build vocabulary, grammar, and expression through real communication and intuitive practice. This is how fluent speakers grow, not by force, but by living inside the language, one sentence at a time. Let's begin. Part 1. Why traditional vocabulary learning fails. Think back to school. You memorized lists: apple, banana, carrot, potato, 100 verbs, 50 adjectives. But do you remember them now? Probably not. Why? Because memory without context disappears. Your brain doesn't keep information it doesn't use. Fluent speakers don't study words. They collect them, they experience them, they reuse them, they make them meaningful. If a word has no emotional or practical connection, your brain deletes it. So the goal isn't to memorize vocabulary, the goal is to make vocabulary part of your life. Part 2. How fluent speakers actually learn vocabulary. Fluent speakers don't sit with notebooks. They don't force memorization. They don't try to remember everything. Instead, they follow a simple principle: learn the word when you need it, then use it immediately. This creates three things. 1. Relevance. The word solves a problem in your communication. 2. Emotion. You needed the word. You feel the need. 3. Repetition. You reuse it because you actually want to use it. This is how children learn their first language. They learn the word water because they want water. They learn hungry because they feel hungry. They learn come here because someone says it to them. The need creates memory. The use creates fluency. Part 3. The 3R method, a powerful natural vocabulary system. Here's a method fluent learners use without even realizing it. It's called the 3R method: recognize, repeat, replace. Let's break it down. Step 1. Recognize. You see a new word in a story, video, or conversation. For example, you hear the word improve. Don't rush to write it down. Don't try to memorize it. Just notice it. Your brain registers it quietly. Step 2. Repeat. Use the word naturally, even once. I want to improve my English. I need to improve my schedule. Each time you use it, the word becomes more familiar. Step 3. Replace. Swap the word into different sentences. I want to improve my health. I want to improve my confidence. I want to improve my fluency. Once you can replace the word across different ideas, the word becomes yours, not memorized, owned. This is the natural way to grow vocabulary, through meaningful repetition. Part 4. How to learn grammar without studying grammar. Let's talk about grammar, the fear of many learners. Most people think fluency requires perfect rules, correct tenses, proper sentence structures. But here's the truth. You don't speak fluently because you know grammar. You speak fluently because you feel grammar. Fluent speakers don't think, is this present perfect? Is this preposition correct? Should I use an article here? They think, what do I want to say? How do I express it clearly? Grammar forms naturally through exposure and usage. Let's break down how to learn grammar without studying grammar. 1. Grammar grows through patterns. Your brain learns structures by hearing them repeatedly. Examples: I'm going to, I've been, I should have. Let's try. These patterns become part of your internal library. You don't think about grammar rules. The structure becomes automatic. 2. Grammar improves through correction. You give yourself. When you listen to your own speaking, you notice mistakes. I go to market yesterday. Wait, I went to the market yesterday. That small correction builds accuracy. Self correction works better than external correction because you notice the mistake, you fix it, you remember it. This creates long term learning. 3. Grammar connects to meaning. Instead of thinking, what tense should I use? Ask, what am I trying to express? Want to describe a past experience? Use simple past. Want to talk about life experience? Use present perfect. Want to express a plan? Use going to or will. Your message decides the grammar, not the rules. 4. Grammar grows stronger. When you speak more, fluency is built by speaking. Grammar flows naturally when you speak regularly. You shadow native speakers, you hear correct patterns, you practice expressing yourself. Grammar is not a puzzle to solve, it is a habit to build. Part 5. The story expansion method. Build expression. Naturally, to express yourself clearly and confidently, you must learn how to expand your ideas. Fluent speakers are not fluent because they use difficult words. They are fluent because they express simple ideas fully. Here's a method to train this skill. Step 1. Start with a simple sentence. Example, I went to the park. Step 2. Add a detail. I went to the park in the afternoon. Step 3. Add an emotion. I went to the park in the afternoon because I needed to relax. Step 4. Add a reflection. I went to the park in the afternoon because I needed to relax. I had a long day. Step 5. Add a conclusion. I went to the park in the afternoon because I needed to relax. I had a long day, but the fresh air helped me feel better. Voila, natural fluency. You didn't memorize anything, you just expanded your thought. This builds expressive fluency, the ability to speak naturally and confidently for longer periods. Part 6. Real story. Omar from Egypt. Omar always studied grammar. He spent hours memorizing verb forms. He memorized long vocabulary lists. He knew rules but couldn't speak. In conversations, he froze. He translated. He searched for perfect sentences. One day, a teacher told him, "You know English, but you've never lived inside English." That hit him deeply. He changed his system. He stopped studying grammar. He stopped memorizing lists. He stopped forcing vocabulary. Instead, he practiced daily speaking. He shadowed videos. He used the 3R method. He expanded his thoughts through storytelling. Slowly, something shifted. Sentences started flowing. He stopped translating. He stopped worrying about rules. He started enjoying English. 6 months later, he gave his first public English presentation at work, not because he memorized more, because he used English more. Part 7. The natural fluency routine. 15 minutes a day. Here's a daily routine to build vocabulary, grammar, and expression naturally. No memorizing, no textbooks, no stress, just real life fluency training. Minutein. 1-3. Shadowing. Choose a short video. Copy the speaker's rhythm and tone. This builds grammar and vocabulary instinctively. Minute 4 to 6. Use the 3R method. Pick one useful word from the video. Recognize it, repeat it, replace it in a few new sentences. Minute 7 to 10. Story expansion. Take one simple idea from your own day, expand it using detail, emotion, reflection, conclusion. Minute 11 to 13. Voice recording. Speak for 2 minutes about your day or your plan. Don't stop, don't correct. Minute 14 to 15. Self-listening. Listen to your recording. Notice one thing you can improve. Try again the next day. This is how natural fluency grows. Not through textbooks, not through memorization, not through pressure, but through your voice, your thoughts, your stories. Closing message. Vocabulary is not something you memorize, it's something you use, something you collect, something you make part of your life. Grammar is not something you study, it's something you absorb, something you practice, something that grows inside you through patterns. Expression is not something you imitate, it's something you build, something you develop through stories, emotions, and reflection. You are not a student anymore. You are a user of English. You are a builder of your own fluency. You are the creator of your own voice. With natural practice, daily speaking, meaningful repetition, and storytelling, English becomes part of your identity. Not memorized, not forced, not temporary, but permanent, real, alive. Segment 6. Sound clear and confident, accent, pronunciation, and natural delivery. Intro. Speaking clearly doesn't mean sounding perfect. If you've reached this part of the journey, it means you've already built a strong foundation. You've learned to create an English environment around you. You've learned to practice speaking daily, even without a partner. You've learned to think in English. You've learned to grow vocabulary and grammar naturally. Now comes a deeper challenge, one that many learners fear, avoid, or misunderstand. How do I sound clearer? How do I fix my pronunciation? Should I try to sound like a native speaker? Is my accent a problem? Today, you'll learn something that can transform your confidence forever. You do not need to erase your accent. You do not need to sound American, British, Canadian, or Australian. You do not need a perfect voice. You need a clear voice, a confident voice, a natural voice. You need a voice that expresses your thoughts smoothly and allows others to understand you easily. In this segment, you will learn how to build clarity in your speech, how to improve pronunciation naturally, how to use your mouth, breath, and rhythm effectively, how to strengthen your voice so it feels powerful, how to embrace your accent while sounding confident, how to deliver English as if it belongs to you. This is not about changing who you are, it's about upgrading how you communicate. Let's begin. Part 1. The truth about accents and why yours is not a problem. Let's start with the biggest misconception. Having an accent is bad. This is completely false. Every person has an accent, even native speakers. Americans sound different from British speakers. New Yorkers sound different from Texans. Londoners sound different from people in Manchester. Australians sound different from Canadians. Accent is identity. Accent is culture. Accent is history. Your accent tells a story about who you are and where you come from. You do not need to erase it. Instead, your goal is simple: be understood without difficulty. Clarity is the real goal, not perfection. The confidence to speak is more valuable than the ability to imitate. Real fluency means your listener understands you easily, you express yourself smoothly, you feel comfortable in your own voice. This is what we will build: a clear, strong, natural accent that supports your fluency, not replaces your identity. Part 2. Why pronunciation? Problems happen, and how to fix them. Naturally, pronunciation is not about trying harder. It's about training your mouth and your ears. Most pronunciation problems happen because you're using the mouth shapes of your native language. You're hearing English through the sound system of your native language. You're rushing your sentences. You're afraid of sounding wrong. You haven't trained sound awareness. You focus on grammar more than sound. These are not flaws, they are habits, and habits can change. Pronunciation improves through slow practice. Repetition, listening, shadowing, mouth training, breath control. Let's break these down. Part 3. The mouth muscle method. Train your speaking muscles. Your mouth is a group of muscles. Just like any muscle, it strengthens through repetition. English uses different mouth positions compared to many languages. For example, the upwire sound, the open A sound in cat, the rounded sound, the soft R, the neutral im u schwa. The long vowels. To speak clearly, you must train your mouth to shape these sounds comfortably. Try this exercise daily. 1. The open vowel stretch. Say e, o, u, slowly, clearly, stretch your mouth. 2. The soft R practice. Say the ka and fa, learn, word does care more, focus on smooth, not rolled. 3. The th training. Soft th, think with thumb, Thursday. Hard, they, that, these, those. Stick your tongue out slightly. Let air flow without force. 4. The schwa practice. Say, about problem and support in alone again. The sound is the most common in English. Mastering it makes your speech more natural. Practice each sound daily for 3 to 4 minutes. These are simple exercises, but powerful. Your mouth becomes more flexible, your sounds become cleaner, your confidence becomes stronger. Part 4. Build a clear voice. Through rhythm and pace. Fluency is not speed, fluency is rhythm. English has a musical pattern, a rise and fall, a stress and softness, a flow that makes speech smooth. To speak clearly, you must use pauses, stress intonation, breath. Listen to this example sentence. I didn't say he stole the money. Depending on which word you stress, the meaning changes. Stress creates clarity, intonation creates emotion, pauses create understanding, speed destroys them all. Clear speech is slow, calm, and confident. Try the slow down method. Read a sentence slowly. Pause between phrases. Increase speed only when clarity is natural. Your voice should feel relaxed, not rushed. Part 5. The power of breath. Speak with energy and confidence. Most learners run out of breath while speaking. This causes weak voice, low energy, uncleared sound, shaky speech, anxious delivery, broken sentences. But fluent speakers use breath as a foundation. Try this exercise. Breath flow method. Inhale deeply for 3 seconds. Speak one full sentence on one breath. Stop, inhale again, speak the next sentence. This builds steady voice, strong tone, clear projection. Breath is your fuel, your voice is the engine. Use them together. Part 6. Shadowing practice. The fastest way to improve pronunciation. Shadowing is one of the most powerful pronunciation tools ever discovered. It improves pronunciation, rhythm, accent, intonation, flow, confidence. Listening. Here's how to do it. Shadowing routine. Choose a short audio clip, 10-20 seconds. Play it once. Just listen. Play it again. Repeat at the same time as the speaker. Copy their pace, tone, rhythm, and emotion. Record yourself and compare. Repeat 5 to 10 minutes daily. Shadowing is how actors learn accents. It's how interpreters train. It's how advanced learners sound natural. You don't become a mimic. You become clear. Part 7. Maintain your accent, but strengthen your sound. Let me share a truth fluent bilinguals know. Your accent is not the barrier. Your clarity is. You can sound completely international, but still speak clearly. Consider speakers from India, the Philippines, Nigeria, France, Italy, Japan. Millions of them communicate globally with strong accents, but very clear English. Why? Because they focus on clarity, not imitation. This is your path too. You don't need to erase yourself, you just need to refine yourself. Your accent is acceptable, your clarity is essential. Part 8. Real story. Sophia from Colombia. Sophia spoke good English, but she was always scared to talk. Not because of grammar, not because of vocabulary, but because of her accent. She said, I feel like people judge me when I speak. Her teacher asked her, do you understand people from different countries who speak English with different accents? Sophia said, yes, of course. Her teacher replied, then why do you think your accent is a problem? That moment changed everything. Sophia began practicing mouth muscle exercises, breath control, shadowing, slow delivery, clear stress patterns. Within months, her voice changed. Not her accent, her confidence. Her English became clearer, her words became stronger, her voice became expressive, alive, natural. One day, she gave a speech in an international workshop and received compliments, not criticism. She said, I didn't change my accent. I changed my belief. You don't need a new identity. You need a new voice. Your voice but clearer. Part 9. The daily 10-minute clarity routine. Here's a simple daily practice that builds clear, confident speech. Minute 1-2. Mouth muscle warm up. Perform vowel stretches and sound drills. Minute 3-4. Breath training. Speak one sentence per breath. Minute 5-7. Shadowing. Choose a 10-20 second clip and copy it. Minute 8-9. Clear speaking practice. Say 2 or 3 sentences slowly and clearly. Minute 10. Voice reflection. Record one sentence. Listen. Adjust your clarity. This routine builds confidence, one day at a time. Closing message. Your voice is one of your greatest tools, not for sounding native, not for sounding perfect, but for sounding like you. Clear, confident, strong. Accent is identity. Clarity is skill. Confidence is power. Fluency is not a performance, it is a connection. When you speak clearly, people listen. When you speak confidently, people trust you. When you speak naturally, people understand you. Your goal is not imitation. Your goal is expression. You don't need a new accent. You need a strong voice, a natural voice, a clear voice, a voice that represents who you are. And that voice is already inside you, waiting to be trained, strengthened, and expressed. Segment 7. Final segment. Lifelong fluency. Stay motivated, break plateaus, and keep growing. Intro. Fluency is not a destination, it's a lifetime journey. You've reached the final part of this series, and by now you've learned something important. Fluency doesn't come from living abroad, or from having perfect grammar, or from memorizing long lists of vocabulary. Fluency grows from daily habits, from small, consistent actions, from speaking even when you're afraid, from thinking in English even when no one is watching, from showing up again and again, even on days you feel slow or discouraged. This final segment is about keeping that flame alive, not just today, not just this month, but for the rest of your life. Because English isn't just a skill, it's a companion on your journey, a tool for opportunity, a bridge to the world, a voice for your ideas, dreams, and identity. And once you build it, you must protect it. Now let's talk about how. Part 1. Understanding plateaus. Why progress sometimes feels slow. Every learner reaches a point where improvement feels invisible. You speak regularly, you practice daily, you do everything right, but it feels like nothing is changing. This is called a plateau. Plateaus are not signs of failure, they are signs of growth. Your brain is reorganizing the knowledge you've gained. Your mind is forming deeper pathways. Your fluency is becoming more stable. Think of fitness. You don't see progress every week, but your body is still adapting. Language works the same way. When progress feels slow, it is often because you're moving from learning to mastery. Trust the process. Keep Going, Part 2. The Motivation Formula. How to Stay Consistent for Life. Motivation is not a constant feeling. It rises and falls like waves. That's why you can't build fluency on motivation alone. You need three things. 1. A clear reason. Ask yourself, why do I want English? What will fluency give me? How will it change my future? Your reason fuels your discipline. 2. A simple routine. You don't need long study sessions. You need small daily habits. 5 minutes of speaking, 5 minutes of listening, 5 minutes of reading, 5 minutes of reflection. Tiny routines create lifelong fluency. 3. A positive identity. Stop saying, I'm not good at English. I make too many mistakes. I speak slowly. Instead say, I'm a growing English speaker. I'm improving every day. I express myself more clearly each week. Your identity shapes your progress. R3. The Keep Growing Toolbox. Here are tools you can use forever, no matter your level. 1. Speak weekly with someone, even for 5 minutes. A friend, a tutor, an AI, a group, any voice counts. 2. Consume English. That you enjoy podcasts, stories, motivation, interviews, make it emotional. 3. Set monthly micro goals. I want to speak for 3 minutes without stopping. I want to understand one new podcast. I want to use 5 new words. Small goals build big progress. 4. Revisit old recordings. Nothing motivates you more than hearing how far you've come. 5. Celebrate progress quietly. Your growth may be slow, but it is real. Every sentence you speak is a victory. Every new word you use is a step forward. Every thought you express in English is proof of your transformation. Part 4. A message for your future. Months from now, maybe even years, you will look back on this journey and you will realize something powerful. Fluency didn't come from one big decision. It came from hundreds of small moments. The moment you spoke out loud when you were scared. The moment you shadowed your first video. The moment you expressed your emotions in English. The moment you kept going on days you felt tired. The moment you decided that English was part of your life, not just part of your studies. Your future self will thank you for every step, because this journey is not about being perfect. It is about becoming confident, becoming expressive, becoming fluent in your own voice. You've already started that journey. Now all you must do is continue. Closing thought. Fluency doesn't belong to people living abroad. Fluency belongs to people who show up, people like you. Keep speaking, keep thinking in English, keep practicing, keep growing. This is not the end. This is your beginning. Request for viewers. If this series helped you, inspired you, or guided your fluency journey, please like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps me create more powerful lessons for learners around the world. Thank you for being part of this journey. Let's keep growing together.